You graduated. You graduated. You're done with school. Graduation. Woo! Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Before we get started on this video, I want you guys to comment, or well, not comment yet, but like hit that subscribe button, like button, follow me on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and all that good stuff. It is graduation season. So this video I'm going to be talking about post-grad life, and you guys might be thinking, wait, Yasmin, didn't you, like, you're 22, what do you mean post-grad life? Okay, well, I graduated a whole year early. I lived it. I experienced the world as an adult for a full ass year. I'm gonna spill the tea on actually getting out in life and like life after, like the little chunk of life after graduation, and how you can cope with that like experience, and tips on how you can mosey on through and really combat the difficulties and struggles that you will face during post-graduation life. So here's the tea about post-grad life. It sucks. Numerous reasons and why. It's great because you finally have like the time to experience new things and you don't have to worry about school and like studying, but it has its lowest points that a lot of people don't really talk about. All of a sudden, your whole entire life you've been following this strict schedule of waking up, going to school, studying, and going to sleep, and like living that on repeat. And once you graduate, you realize that you don't have a schedule, and you always have this need to have like to get something done. I was just like, I feel like I'm missing something, like I have to do something, but I don't know what to do. And I always had that feeling, and I always kind of felt a little like either bored or a little empty inside, because I'm always someone who likes to do things, and you might get that feeling. Kind of boils down to post-graduation depression. It's depression that you get after you graduate, and it doesn't always kick in right after you graduate, but it usually slowly kind of builds after graduation. For me, I didn't feel it until after 2 months of graduating, but I feel like it's something that's not really talked about when you're in college. You have this like vision of living your dream life after graduation and having your dream job, and then you're actually like going through life, and then you realize that none of it is coming true. You feel like you're kind of stuck and like held back. I'm an actor and I want to be an actor, and I felt that I had a shitty agency. Don't want to get into it. I was just super behind and super green, and I felt like life was moving on, and I wasn't. And this also comes into play with social media, which I talked about in my other video, how social media plays a huge like deal in post-grad depression, because you actually see people living out their dreams. You start comparing yourself and you're like, wait, why can't I? Why is this person like living great and why am I not? And then you start kind of attacking yourself and putting yourself down for not living up to your own expectations. You're lost, as in giving yourself second thoughts on, what if the degree that I studied so hard for, what if I'm not going to be able to use that in the future? What if I want to choose another path? But if I choose another path, am I wasting all this money on this degree that I actually studied for? And you start questioning yourself and everything and all your life choices, and it really does get to you, and it frustrates you a lot. And I just want to tell you guys that you are not alone. For people who love to show off how they have their shit together, they do not. Don't believe that anyone in your position has their shit together. Don't believe it. We're all fucked up in a way, and that's just the reality of it. With that, I'm going to lead on into how to, I wouldn't say get over your post-grad depression, but how to deal with it, how to how to cope with it, and ways where you won't feel as lost, you won't feel as pressured, and you can just start enjoying life after college. So the first tip that I find very important, very important, is take a break. take a break, and I cannot stress, when I say take a break, I mean if you want to go home and just chill and sleep and eat all your parents' food, if you want to go on vacation, if you want to take a road trip, because the older you get and the more experienced you are in life and in the job or in the career you have, the window of time to actually take a break and to vacation gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller the more time goes on. It's because you just took 4 years of stress and studying and bullshit, and you need to have this break. Take into consideration the amount of time you need for just yourself, for just to reflect on your life. I know what I did is I had a little bit of money but none when I came back. I traveled to Germany, I traveled to Tunisia, I traveled with my boyfriend, I also traveled with my best friend, and I came back so refreshed. The little gap between college and actually like having a career is like very, very small, and you need to use that gap to the fullest to travel and to love yourself and to just treat yourself nicely. The next tip that I find super, super important: don't put pressure on yourself for not being able to jump into life. Don't put pressure on yourself. You will go crazy once you start pressuring yourself into saying, oh, I need to do this now. I need to start being in a career. I see everyone else living their lives. I need to do that. You may not be ready to actually engage into the real world. And so I say that because when I graduated, I pressured myself a lot to move out to Hollywood and to fully like just jump into this life of adulthood. So I did that, and then I came out here and I felt so lonely and lost, and actually like I would have moments where I would like sit in my room and cry so much because I was like, I wasn't ready for this. It's okay if you're not ready. You just graduated. Of course you might not be ready. And you also might be ready. And that's the thing. It's like this whole post-graduation is so different and varied. So you might be ready and you might just naturally kind of weave into this life, which is great. Everyone's different. So don't pressure yourself if your life isn't like that person's life, because everyone's life is different. Another important reason is to find someone to talk to, whether it is your mom, your dad, your grandmother, your best friend. Find someone that you trust to be able to talk about your feelings about graduation or about life after graduation, to talk about how you're feeling, where you think you might be going, where you want to go. That's like the biggest regret I had, was like I'm just like a very stubborn person about my feelings. So if someone's like, talk to me, I'm like, no. I felt like I was on this emotional overload of like, what am I gonna do? Like I feel so screwed. And then I finally talked to someone and I was bawling. I just started crying out of nowhere because I didn't have anyone to talk to, and it just like the emotions literally exploded out of me. It's so important to like be able to establish that communication with someone you love and someone you trust, or a therapist. Depends. It's all different. It's different whoever you are. The last point that I want to talk about is about money. And this is very important and something that I realized a little too late after graduation. It is good to be conscious of money and spending and your spending habits, but don't let it run your conscience. And what I mean when I say that is, once you graduate, you might be broke as hell. And that was me. And every single day I stressed, I cried, I lost hair over how am I going to afford this, how am I going to save up. It's like save up, how am I going to, like, money is literally on my mind 24/7. Literally, I wouldn't stop thinking about it. It is hard. It is very hard when you are broke and you are living in an expensive city and you want to be able to live but survive. When you're so young and you worry so much about money, you do stop enjoying the moment. And that's something I kind of learned the hard way. There's been a long time after I graduated when all I thought about was, how am I going to pay my next bill? How am I going to pay my student loans? How am I going to this? And I wasn't just enjoying my life as my life. The least likely I was able just to enjoy my life and to enjoy the things I have and the people I have. It's just something that we don't think about. It's something we really don't think about and something we really don't like process. Is when we worry too much about money, we stop living life and we stop enjoying our lives, especially our lives as new graduates and adults. Money isn't everything. All the glitter is not gold. And that being said, congratulations, sis. I am so proud of you guys. It's gonna be scary. It's gonna be a lot, and it's gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. If you survived college, you can survive literally whatever life fucking throws at you. You will be okay. So congratulations, y'all are killing it. I just liked these tips and I really hope they help you, because these are tips that I came up with after my experience, and I hope that these help your experience. So thanks for watching, guys. Bye.